Becoming a medium was a journey in soul searching and faith. Pauline is a deeply spiritual person whose calling is to deliver messages that bring comfort and peace in a nurturing, loving environment. It is her honor and greatest joy to tune in to the other side and relay information to those who come to her for a reading. Pauline also has a background in working with and caring about the deaf community, which has been a major part of her life. As a medium, psychic, and healer in Cassadaga, Florida, she's expanded her signing opportunities where she provides intuitive spiritual counseling. She loves reaching out to the deaf community with a clear and down-to-earth communication style, sharing her skills and talents. Let's welcome Pauline.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here with me. So over the summer, I was fortunate to share some truly special and awe-inspiring experiences with my family. We got to travel abroad to Europe, visiting a variety of different countries. And there I got to experience some of the world's most incredible natural wonders. The majesty of the landscape, the volcanic landscapes as well as the delicious foods, something none of us will ever forget. Now that I'm back home though, and back to reality, as they say, the experience is a welcome reminder that we don't have to look far to find moments of awe in everyday life. I'm finding that the key is to live in the present moment, observe the vastness of our surroundings, and welcome new ideas and challenges, even going to the airport. As a dear friend would tell me, when you get to the airport, don't forget to look at the beautiful artwork. And it's amazing when you do, because you're finding different airports, different terminals have beautiful artwork. And I just remember one vividly. I felt like I was under the sea because they had all this beautiful water sceneries and different dolphins and turtles. And did you know that according to health professionals, feeling of awe can improve your mood, lower stress, and increase empathy and kindness? And there's this beautiful quote from Albert Einstein that I love, and maybe something for you to ponder. There are only two ways to live your life. One is as though nothing is a miracle. The other is though everything is a miracle. What do you choose? If your life is feeling a little mundane, or you have the post-vacation blues, why not seek out some everyday awe this week? How often do we wake up and hit the ground running and forget the dreams and the passions of the night before? How often do we just go through life disgruntled in the aisles of the grocery store, wondering when the person's gonna move ahead? If you were to rate the speed of your life on a scale from 1 to 10, what would you rate it? Is this in line with the speed in which you would really want to live your life? Because how often do we take experiences for granted? Like going to the airport, or driving your car to work, or just chatting on the phone with a friend. Like many people, my life has many ups and downs, with too many demands on my time and too many difficult situations to handle. It is my belief that inner peace can only be achieved by monks and saints or anyone who lives in a reclusive life and doesn't have to deal with daily struggles. I used to believe that once. And I'm not sure what I thought. Perhaps I didn't believe anyone can feel a lasting peace inside. But one thing I did know is I knew that my feelings of peace were always transitory, was always moving and changing. And upon reflection, our speed of life is about our relationship with control. peace, I believe, comes from realizing that we'll never be able to do everything all at once. I remember being with family, lots of wonderful family memories pop up. And I remember we were talking about this on our trip, how many times my mother would want something done. And in her mind, it should have been done already. It's like, why isn't it done? And so the family joke was, when she would ask something like, when do you want this done? You want it done now or a couple of hours from now? But the thing that I found is that we can focus on the important things and to build a meaningful life. Because we know from experience that there will always be unknowns in life. But rather than fear them or control them, I started learning to begin to embrace them and accept that whatever was happening, what it was at the time. Rather seeing the life as good or bad, I removed that label, that old mindset, that it has to be one way or the other. And I saw it as a part of the whole experience. And what I found was the difference was my focus and perspective. Instead of leaning on the fear and worrying and trying to fix something or try to fix everything, I began to slow down and let go of the illusion of control. And I found that just enjoying chatting with my friend at breakfast, hearing children just laughing, watching the butterfly fluttering around in my backyard from plant to plant, receiving a warm hug from a friend, or even when I go to the beach, just sounding the waves of the waves crashing on the beach, are all things that I enjoy, all things that I'm grateful for and appreciative of. Because that's the beauty and magic I see all around me. And it fills me with wonder and with awe. And it helped me to have a sense of safety that allows me to live life with fewer fears and worries. And I'm also learning that being aware is always the first step towards any significant change. Because magic is possible when you embrace your awareness with the love and with the gratitude in your heart. Yes, sometimes I feel overwhelmed by all the challenges that are around me and believe that I need to control it to stay safe. But then I also learned to pay attention back to myself, to start breathing, taking that moment of pause. Because I learned that I don't have to fix everything all at once. I don't have to do everything all at once. I just need to take care of me and honor my needs and trust with the strength of my own self that I can handle it, whatever challenge is in front of me. Because you can change any area of your life, one mini moment, one aha moment at a time. Because when we do that, we naturally become mindful and make a path to the presence and realizing what's important. When we remove that pressure and expectation that we put on ourselves, we allow ourselves to just start just being and being okay with just yourself. Because the more we practice, the more that we allow such profound occurrences to be around us and to see it on a day-to-day moment. Just like this morning, hearing the birds singing by my bedroom window and just being touched by that. I am listening to myself and honoring what is present by loving myself through the difficulties that may arise instead of just judging or hiding from myself. And the things that I found 9 practices that have been effective for me, and I would like to share them. One is play. I don't know about you, but I know that my mind is always working overtime to judge anything that has happened, an event, a person, a remark, pros and cons list, and simply playing without putting a price on it. We get to lose ourselves in play. Whether we're creating a make-believe world or just throwing a ball between friends or watching a silly YouTube video, we allow ourselves to get out of the linear adult mindset, the one that doesn't care about bills or how much we weigh. Because in the land of play, we get to see things in new ways and can engage us in the world in ways that regular adult life often does not allow us. When I stop noticing the playfulness of the world around me, I know I'm in a bad mood or I'm too stressed. And I often make myself stop and re-engage in the world in a playful way, even if it's just watching a silly movie, a comedy movie, or a silly video. And sometimes I phone a friend that I know is going to make me laugh. The second one is perspective. My interpretation, my thinking can relieve my distress. A problem is only a problem when I decided it's a problem. And we can also decide that it's not a problem, and we can make that choice. For me, nothing resets our perspective like watching the stars at night or the moon rise or walking along a wide expanse of water. We get to create such moments for ourselves. Or just even listening to the birds chirping in your by your window. It's a time to get some perspective, just to get a newness, a different awareness. My third one is the one that I'm learning more and more about, pauses. I don't know about you, but the busier we get, the more important it is for us to find time to just to do nothing and just be. There are times when I come home and it's just like, you know what, I'm just going to sit. Sometimes it's just me sitting in my patio and just watching the birds or the butterflies or even the leaves just blowing in the air. Giving yourself even a few extra seconds before reacting can make a difference. Pressing that pause button gives you a chance to just rewind and make a conscious choice. And then press play again to continue in a different way. It puts the power into your own hands to make decisions and take control of your own life. Because pauses, in my opinion, is about doing. In your doing will invite more being, allowing your life to center around yourself and your own being instead of just always doing, and like the Energizer Bunny. The fourth one is creativity, poetry, music, dance, whatever else you find beauty in, because we're all creative beings. I'm not the greatest artist in the world, and I always tell my students that because they always let me know that they're not great readers or they're not great writers. And so anytime I have to draw something, they're like, it's okay, Miss Gold, you know, you're trying your best, because this is what I tell them when they're trying to do something new. We might not write you might not be able to write your most captivating story, but if you stop, then you'll never write at your full potential. So it's about taking that chance and go for it and just keep on trying. Read, write, draw, learn from what you love and engage fully. And keep listening inside, allowing that process to move from the inner to the outer world without that judgment, without that criticism. Pleasure. Be curious about the little things already in your life that could be welcomed even more. That wonderful surprise phone call from a friend, or a surprise Amazon package at your front door. Establishing a more joyful and familiar relationship with just goodness. The other day, my hands were full and this person opened up the door as I was leaving the store. Just that goodness. Your happiness gets a boost when you consciously let it in and even celebrate it, being thankful. Because following our joys is an easy path to creating much more joy in our lives. Because when we see it, we're going to see more of it. And it's just a beautiful feeling. The other, before my summer began, there was this plant and it was in a pot and it wasn't doing anything. And my mother suggested that I should plant it in the ground, that it might, grow and just be bigger. So I took her advice. Neither one of us remembered what this plant was and what it was supposed to look like. But then all of a sudden, I put it in the ground, and within a few weeks, I was amazingly surprised. There's this beautiful bloom. And I noticed it, and then at nighttime, when it closes. And then in the morning, I'm surprised again when it blooms and it opens up. And I'm always in awe when I see it. And when I came back, there's a new blossom on it from another part of the stem. Just finding those little joys, those pure joy, and just pursuing that joy. The other thing is pictures. I believe our soul speaks to us in pictures and in symbols. And I always find that a smile is a symbol of hope and strength. And there's this beautiful a quote from Ali Juma. Even when we think we have things figured out and everything is going to plan, it can all change in a moment. Because inspiration fades, beliefs transforms, goals shifts, life happens. And that's the thing, life is not linear. And I find that with a smile, that sometimes I can be in just a melancholy way, or just things are just same old, same old. And then all of a sudden that smile or that hug. And it reminds me of just keep going, keep doing the things that you love to do. The next is patterns. Because noticing patterns for me is fun. We get lost for hours in mandalas or in puzzles if we just allow ourselves just to be engaged in it. And the other thing is synchronicities are also patterns, and they're patterns of coincidences. Because we get messages from out there, and it's beautiful. And if we accept them, we notice them, we treasure them, we get to listen to them, we get to watch them, be open to them. And then sometimes a lot of them are telling us to take action afterwards. Some might even lead toward a beautiful new directions. And sometimes it's telling you turn around and go back the other way because you're going in the wrong direction. Thank you. The next is empathy and sympathy. Can create some really wonderful connections with another person, again, if we allow it, if we choose it. Because whenever we have the opportunity for a connection, acknowledge it. Don't avoid it. Don't go back to your phone or the computer screens. Because moments of real connections make a real rich life. Because interacting with the world, this is where we get to not feel alone, where we get to see that we're all the same, trying to do the best that we can with the tools that we have it. And last but not least, ponder, wonder, meditate, contemplate, be amazed and in awe of life. And just look with your eyes with curiosity. Because when we reclaim wonder in our everyday lives, whether we're just washing the dishes, driving to work, or watching even the clouds shift and change in the sky, we get to transform the mundane and the routine in a sacred experience that we're having. And then if you want to share it, you can share it with others. Because the ordinary becomes extraordinary, and our lives are deeper and more connected with others. It's all about simply stopping and paying attention, noticing what is around you, and let it move and inspire you. And if you want, you get to write about it, take a photo of it, paint a picture, sing a song, dance, whatever moves you. Developing that self-awareness is taking radical responsibility for your own well-being, because you get to choose it. Because our inner peace if our inner peace depends on what other people say or do, or whatever conditions that is put on it, we'll never find it. Self-awareness is finding that inner peace and living from our wiser nature to understanding ourselves. And yet it's a skill that isn't taught in schools or even in most families, that self-awareness. We get to examine our thoughts and feelings. We get to be more deliberate about our actions, and we get to practice awareness. We have that responsibility to cultivate it in ourselves. And I'll leave you to ponder this profound quote by Marcus Aurelius. Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in the way of your thinking. Thank you.
Thank you, Pauline. During our musical interlude, we'll be passing the basket. We thank you in advance for generous